The next problem statement is to find sum of even numbers in a given list of integers. So here the same initialization of variables, sum equal to 0, array of some size I and n. Printf, enter the size of an array. So we have read the size of an array. Now we are reading the elements in an array. So this is the logic for reading the number of elements in an array. Next, we are going to write within the for loop the logic for finding the sum of even numbers. So first we need to find an even number. How we can find an even number? That is, if ARR of I mod 2 is double equal to 0, as we know the even number logic, right? That is, any given number, whenever we perform modular division with 2, the remainder should be 0. Okay, the numbers with the remainder 0, we are going to call it as even numbers. Now ARR of I mod 2 double equal to 0, then that number is an even number. Now we are going to store that even number sum. Sum is equal to sum plus ARR of I. In the earlier case, we didn't write this if condition. Now we are writing this if condition, which will give the sum of only even numbers in a given list of integers. After getting the sum, we are printing the sum. Now let us try to execute and check. Enter the size of array. So I will be giving the size of array as 5. Just I am taking 5, these small numbers is, for our explanation it will be very easy. I can take 1000, I can take anything, but I need to take more time for giving the input those numbers. So I am giving you very few numbers. The reason is, for our explanation we can easily understand. It doesn't mean that this program will not work for large numbers. It will work for large numbers, but it will be time consuming to input the numbers. That is the reason I am taking only 5 numbers. So I will be taking the numbers as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So out of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what are all the even numbers? 2 and 4. Now we should get the output as the sum of all even numbers is 6. Now let us check whether we are getting it or not. The sum of all even numbers is 6. So our logic is working fine. Now let us test with another test case with the random numbers. This time I am trying to give 10 numbers. I am giving random numbers, 10 numbers, 32, 8, 7, 9, 13, 11, 17, 19, 2, 4. So for our easier explanation, I have given the first 2 numbers even numbers and the last 2 numbers even numbers. So rest of all the numbers are odd numbers. Now let us check. What are all the even numbers here? 32 and 8, 2 and 4 are even numbers. Rest of all are odd numbers. 32 plus 8 is 40, 40 plus 2 is 42, 42 plus 4 is 46. The sum of all even numbers is 46. So according to our input, we have got the output according to our logic what we have written. So this is how we can find sum of even numbers in a given list of integers. The next problem statement is to find sum of odd numbers in a given list of integers. So we know the initialization, how to initialize the identifiers. Next, I am giving the user enter the size of an array. Then we have read the size of an array in n. Next, enter the elements of an array. So in order to read the elements, we require one for loop. Now I am writing the logic to find the sum of odd numbers. So a number which does not have the remainder as 0 In other words, a number other than 0 as remainder is called as an odd number. So here we are writing array of I mod 2 which is not equal to. So this is a sign of not equal to, which comes under relational operators. Not equal to 0. So if array of I mod 2 not equal to 0, then we are considering it as an odd number. That odd number sum is been printed over here. The sum is equal to sum plus ARR of I. If at all, if it is an odd number, only then it is added in sum. So once all the elements it has been traced and you are getting the sum, then the control will come out of this for loop and you are going to print the sum of all odd numbers. Now let us try to execute this code and check. Now I am giving the size of an array as 5. Let me give the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are the list of elements. Now out of this list of elements, what are all the odd numbers? 1 is an odd number, 3 is an odd number, 5 is an odd number. So what is 1 plus 3 plus 5? 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 5 is 9. So totally there are 3 elements which are odd numbers and the sum is 9. So according to the given logic, so you are getting the sum of odd numbers. Now let us execute with one more test case. Now let me give the input as 10. I am giving some random numbers 3, 5, 56, 74, 66, 40, 4, 22, 88, 7 and 9. So I have given for our easier understanding 3, 5 odd numbers, remaining all are even numbers and the last 2 are again odd numbers. Now let us add this. 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 7 is 15, 15 plus 9 is 24. So we got sum of all odd numbers. So this is how we can execute to find sum of all the odd numbers in a given list of integers. Next problem statement is to copy the contents of one array into another array. Here I am considering two arrays, array 1 and array 2. Rest of all I and n for iterations as similar with the previous programs. So enter the size of the array. I am reading the size of the array. Next enter the elements of an array. So I am reading the elements of an array 1. Now the logic here is we need to copy the contents of one array into another array. It is very simple. So for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What is the another array? Array 2 is the second array. Array 2 of I equal to, just we need to copy the contents of array 1 of I. So this is the logic, very simple logic. Now once you have copied the contents of one array into another array with the assignment operator, now we need to print the elements. So what is the logic for printing? Printf. Just I am giving the copied content of array 2 are, just I am giving a message. Then for printing, we know the logic is we need to use for loop. One for loop for printing. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Now in which array we have copied the contents? Printf %d slash t. The array name is ARR of 2 of Within this, we need to give the subscript as I. So this is how you can print the array 2 elements which are from array 1. Def /n. As I have took /t, a tab space for each and every element. So these are the copied contents of array 2 from array 1 R. Now let us execute this code and print the contents of copied contents of array 2. Enter the size of array. I am giving the size of array as 5. Enter the elements. So these elements are read in array 1. Please look into this carefully. Elements are read in array 1. Now I am reading these elements 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So I am reading these elements in array 1. After reading these elements in array 1, according to this particular logic, the contents of array 1 are copied in array 2 and we are displaying the contents of array 2. The copied contents of array 2 from array 1 are 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So these are all the elements which we have read in array 1, we are printing in array 2. Right? So this is the logic to copy the contents of one array to another array. You can also understand by processing the internal steps of this. Very simple. You can try on your own.